Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and the latest LEGO Ideas results have just been released, and boy is it an interesting one. So back in September for LEGO Fan Media Days in Billund, Denmark, home of the LEGO Group, myself and a ton of other LEGO influencers got a chance to see these review results live. And the energy in the room when these two got revealed was very entertaining, interesting, and I'm so curious to hear what folks think about this in the comments. Now, out of 71 total projects that qualified for this review cycle, only 2 of them have been approved to become official LEGO sets, and the 2 are probably some of the most interesting ones they could have picked. Let's get into the results right now. So the first set to be revealed to all of us, which was to a lot of people's surprise, Twilight Cullen House, which is a model by user Lobster Thermidor, which reached 10,000 supporters earlier this year, was in review, and has been officially approved to become one of the next LEGO Ideas sets. So this is going to become an official LEGO set, and it is of course based off of the Twilight movie franchise. Now, this was quite surprising to us because, at least to me, I feel like the Twilight movie franchise was something that was super huge maybe when I was in middle school or high school, definitely years ago, but I haven't really heard that many people talking about it today. Still, I'm not super familiar with it, so maybe it definitely does have its fan base. I'm just not aware of it, but it was very interesting seeing LEGO focus on a full-on set based on Twilight, which is not a sentence I thought I ever was going to say. It definitely seems really interesting, and I think for the submission itself, the build is quite good. I love the architecture of the house. This, again, is a real-world architectural landmark, so it is really nicely designed. I'm sure that LEGO was going to absolutely cook on the interior details of it. It just certainly was a surprise, and I don't think any of us in the room were expecting it. I just remember the reaction when it was unveiled. We literally turned around and looked at each other and was like, what is going on? How is this the next LEGO Ideas set? But it's happening. Officially, LEGO Twilight is coming to stores sometime soon. The second official set that we have confirmed is The Botanical Garden by Gowannas89, which reached 10,000 supporters and will be one of the upcoming LEGO Ideas sets. Once again, this is a really interesting inclusion for this because we did just get a really beautifully detailed LEGO Botanical Garden set for LEGO Friends. I guess that it would be different with minifigures, but even if you look at the design of the set, they are fairly similar, and you have this very classic white and transparent clear style of design with the rich foliage on the inside. It really does resemble the LEGO Friends set, and I just find it very interesting how LEGO just decided to do another one. I guess that the Friends set was so big that maybe LEGO decided to produce this, but I would imagine that that decision was made way after the set came out, so it's just very interesting, and it's one of the very few instances of a LEGO Ideas set coming out while there is a pretty similar product on the market. That being said, I'm sure LEGO is going to do something different with it. I am excited to see what LEGO produces, and of course, given that this is an idea set produced off of an original LEGO idea, I always love it when LEGO does original stuff. I mean, I love everything LEGO does. I love it when they do obscure licenses, and I also love it when they do original things. And this certainly is an original idea, not tied to any license. I'm very excited to see what LEGO does with the concept of a botanical garden to make it stand out and be different than the LEGO Friends set, but it's still very surprising that out of all of the projects they could have chosen, they went with one of them that already is in a very similar set. I can't wait, but it's a very odd choice for sure. So yeah, those were the 2 official LEGO Idea sets, the latest ones just to be announced that are going to be coming out in probably a year and a half to 2 years into the future, and personally, I find this choice really interesting for a number of reasons. First of all, for the Botanical Garden. I am overjoyed we are getting a Botanical Garden. It's probably going to be an incredible set. It'll be so beautiful, but we did literally just get the perfect LEGO Botanical Garden as a LEGO Friends set just earlier this year. In fact, it became one of LEGO's most popular sets and placed number 1 on my list of the best sets between $50 to $100 that came out this year. To get another one so soon is really interesting, and I wonder just what they're going to do to differentiate it from the already excellent LEGO Friends version. And while we're no stranger to weird LEGO licenses being created for some reason or another, Twilight is a very interesting property to officially adapt as a LEGO set. It's gone through the review process a couple of different times, but I guess that since it was denied so many times and then eventually came back, LEGO decided to actually make it an official set. Now, typically when LEGO does an idea set based off of a particular license, it is for some sort of a reason, like the Home Alone house came out specifically for the new Home Alone movie on Disney+. We also got something like the Beatles for the anniversary and whatnot, but This is kind of a random license. I don't really know how popular Twilight still is today. I will totally admit I know nothing about the Twilight movies other than Batman didn't have a great time filming them and they have vampires in them, and that's pretty much all I know. So my knowledge is fairly limited on what the movies are about and how popular they are. I mean, I know it was a huge worldwide phenomenon, but it's really interesting to see LEGO choose to adapt it now versus years ago, and I'm certainly really curious to see how well the set will sell. Now, unfortunately, my friend Ashen Flash's LEGO Ideas Shrek proposal was not approved this time, but I think he's going to be resubmitting it, so I definitely would recommend that you go ahead and support it again, especially if he submits it again. It seems that, like the Twilight House, LEGO really does respond well to ideas going through the process over and over again, because it shows that people still really want it to be made, so I guess that's how that happened, but it's really interesting seeing them choose two topics, one of which is a topic that we already just got as a really fantastic LEGO set, another one is based off of a pretty strange license that hasn't seemed the most relevant in a number of years now, but I'm sure LEGO knows what they're doing. The Botanical Garden set is probably going to look incredible. I am so excited for that one in particular. I think it's going to look amazing, especially if they really differentiate it from the existing Friends one and make it its own unique style of building. I feel like that would be really cool. And the Twilight House set is actually really great as well. I think the architecture is very interesting. It is actually based off of a real-life architectural marvel of a house that is kind of a famous architecture landmark. So honestly, they could probably have just literally done that house in the LEGO architecture line. So I feel that even folks who are not fans of Twilight will be able to appreciate the set, and I certainly can't wait to get both of them when they come out. Granted, if they are good, of course. On one final note, I will say that out of 71 projects, having only 2 be selected is a little disappointing. Now, this is no new news. LEGO Ideas has been doing this since 2020 when the popularity of the platform really exploded and hasn't quite gone down since. To be completely honest, I kind of feel like LEGO Ideas needs to change some things up to continue to stay relevant and to continue to actually be able to increase their output of sets coming out. If LEGO Ideas cannot handle more than a couple of sets being approved per review program, honestly, I would say either raise the limit of the amount of supporters. Now, there are some inherent problems to that, especially related to folks who have gotten ideas through in the past, but I feel like either you have to do that, make more LEGO Idea sets because clearly there is a huge demand for LEGO Ideas, or simply just actually decide to go ahead and just split LEGO Ideas off into a few different programs. It seems that in recent review cycles, LEGO Ideas has been doing one non-licensed set and one licensed set, and maybe one or two other extra ones in between. Honestly though, I feel that what LEGO Ideas should do is maybe split in half. Have a LEGO Ideas that is literally just for existing IPs and existing licenses like Twilight, Home Alone, The Beatles, Doctor Who, you name it. If it's an existing license, put it in one category, and then have a separate LEGO Ideas for original ideas. Stuff like the Botanical Garden, for instance, and any of the other original LEGO Ideas. I feel like splitting them off into 2 different programs and maybe even just making it 2 categories on the website might make things a little bit easier, so that way people will just expect to have one license and one non-license go through for different review cycles. I'm sure there are some problems with that because maybe if there for some reason comes a review cycle where no licenses work for LEGO, then they'd have to just say they're not approving anything, which would be unfortunate. But 71 and only 2 out of 71, I definitely feel like something does need to change, and I'm really curious to hear what folks have to say in the comments if you have any ideas on how LEGO Ideas can be improved. One thing that I also noticed is that we often get LEGO modular building idea submissions, which LEGO seems to never accept, so I would honestly say either don't accept modular buildings even as entries whatsoever, or if you are actually going to accept the entries, make it a separate category and just do maybe one a year. You can have it release alongside the official LEGO modular building. I feel like there's enough capacity for LEGO to do something like that, but maybe they might feel that they would compete with each other, but I don't know, you could do one in the winter, one in January, or one in the summer, or something like that. I feel like there's a room for something like that to be set up, and even for LEGO space ideas. LEGO Ideas often has a lot of realistic planes and jets and spaceships from like NASA or SpaceX or whatnot, and I feel like splitting that off into its own separate category might do a lot of wonders in terms of just being able to say, okay, we're going to do this one category, but that's going to be one set per year that is space themed, or one set per year that is modular themed. And that way, a lot of the ideas will be split off into these other categories, and you won't have 2 out of 71 only being chosen. And yes, I will say that unfortunately the Bionicle Toa head statue, to probably no one's surprise, was not chosen, which is very unfortunate, but hopefully this doesn't mean that the creator can maybe release instructions, because I personally would love to build and review it myself, but I don't know how the rules work on that, so we'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, this about sums up the LEGO Ideas first half of 2023 review round. 2 very, very interesting choices for LEGO Ideas to focus on. Frankly, I don't really know quite how I feel about it, but I guess I'll have to wait and see how the sets are, and I'm so curious to hear what folks in the comments say as well. Thanks so much for tuning into Duck Breaks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon, and bye for now.